What's up, guys? Welcome back to another video on Pure Panorama. Those parts you just saw are brakes for the front of my 2001 24 valve Cummins. Not just any brakes, they are the 3rd gen Cummins brake upgrades for the 2nd gen Cummins. Now this front brake upgrade will only work on a 2000 to 2002 truck that has the rotors that are able to slide on and off and don't have the studs through the hub and rotor assembly. So the 98.5s, 99s, it will not work. I think there's some other stuff that you have to do in order to do this conversion on it and get these bigger brakes. But we are going to be doing the 3rd gen Cummins brake conversion on my truck so that we have bigger rotors and pads and more stopping power. Somebody in the comment section a little while back mentioned about doing this and said that I should. I still have a master cylinder that I need to install, but do me a favor right now and go down there and hit that like button for the 24 valve Cummins, getting the 3rd gen Cummins brake upgrade. Let's get this thing in the air and start pulling it apart. But as I get things installed, I will go over key things and kind of show you what it is and how it's done so that you guys know in case you want to do this to your Cummins as well. So that's a 16mm 12 point to get out the 2 bolts that hold your caliper bracket to the actual knuckle of the truck. So you got to pop those out. You shouldn't have to undo your slide pins that hold the caliper to the actual bracket. If you're doing this upgrade, no sense in undoing more than you have to. Just pop those 2 bolts out, and then you have to separate your brake line that's attached to the caliper here, and you should be able to pull the bracket, the caliper, and the old pads right off the truck as one and pull the rotor off, and then you can start to assemble the new stuff, put it back together, move on to the next side. This should be able to be a quick and easy job. So this is a 9/16 to release the actual brake line from the caliper. And you want to make sure that you pinch off that line so that you're not pouring brake fluid all over the place. So I'm going to go ahead and pull this out. You have 2 little copper washers, just like if you were doing injectors. You don't want to lose these because you need them to seal up around that brake line on the caliper. So make sure when you pull this apart that you don't lose these copper washers. So all I did right there to get this off because it was stuck is I removed the brake line from the caliper, had the bleeder released so that it would release pressure, but that wasn't working. So I removed the whole line, and then I took a little pry bar like this and got up in here between the rotor and the pad and just pressed on it to open it up just a little bit and got it to piss out some brake fluid, and it opened it just enough for me to get it out and off of here. This thing was definitely sticking and starting to do more harm than it was good. But looking at these pads, they still have quite a bit of life left on them. Okay, so they actually do give you a new bolt and copper washers with your new caliper. You obviously get a nice fresh bleeder screw, so that's nice. And let me tell you, this one is far more bulky and nicer than the little tiny one that's on these old calipers. These things would round off. I had to heat the other ones up with a torch and then grab them with vice grips to turn them out. When you pull this new banjo bolt out for your brake line to be reattached, make sure you keep these copper washers separate. You want one on each side of your brake line. So one will be on the bolt, and then your brake line goes on, and then your other copper washer, and then you stick it into your caliper, tighten her down, And that's it, guys. That's how you put these 3rd gen brakes on your 2nd gen Cummins. So it looks like the banjo bolt off the new calipers from the 3rd gen is slightly larger than the one off of the 2nd gen. And I don't think it's gonna work because it won't go through the brake line hose here. So it looks like you may have to use the old bolt, but use the new copper washers. But there you have it, guys. You can see the old rotor, which is your original 2nd gen rotor on the top, and then the new 3rd gen brake conversion, the upgraded rotor on the bottom. You easily have at least an extra inch in diameter of rotor material there. Bigger pads, more stopping power. So that's it. All you need is, you don't need to do the calipers. You can keep your original calipers, but it is probably easier just to go and grab yourself new calipers. They come with the brackets. Then you can just pull everything off like I did in one whole assembly: pads, bracket, caliper, pluck the rotor off there, and then put everything back together. And then there's the 3rd gen caliper and bracket, which is definitely a touch larger than the old 2nd gen brake caliper. I believe the calipers are pretty identical. I don't know if there's much of a difference between the 2nd gen caliper and the 3rd gen Cummins caliper, brake calipers, but the actual caliper bracket from the 3rd gen Cummins is larger, the pads are larger, and clearly the rotor is larger. So that's it. Passenger side, the problem side, done, out of the way. 3rd gen Cummins brake conversion and upgrade done on my 2001 24 valve Cummins. So long, 2nd gen brakes. There you go, guys. We got the driver's side done, and I just wanted to tell you, when I wasn't worried about filming and stuff and I was just focused on pulling things off and getting everything switched, this is a 20-minute job. It took me 15-20 minutes to get this side done when I just set the camera up on time-lapse mode over there. The other side, obviously, I was trying to explain some things to you a little bit just so you had an idea of what I was doing, some tools you would need and stuff. But really, this is probably the most basic and simple upgrade that you can do for your truck. It will be a great improvement for your truck, and the best part is it's free. When you need brakes, you're gonna have to buy them anyways, so you're better off just getting these 3rd gen Cummins brakes and putting these on, and you get a free upgrade of more stopping power with bigger brakes, and you'll be good to go. Even if you don't need brakes, but you tow a lot and you're looking for just a little bit extra stopping power, bigger pads, bigger rotor, go ahead and get these. After I bring my core calipers back, I should be in debt for this job here. I think right around 300 bucks. So it's roughly, depending on what area you live in, what part store you go to, should be around 300, probably 350, no more than that. But you can't really complain because you're getting more stopping power out of it, and it's pretty sweet. Look at that. But we are done. I'm just gonna run over one last time what we did. So when we took everything apart with the old brake system, all I did was remove these bolts right here that hold the bracket, the caliper bracket on. So I removed that, left the slide pins all intact so that the caliper stayed right mounted to the bracket. And then we pulled the pads, the bracket, and the caliper right off as one unit. And then we could obviously pop our rotor off after that. And then you put your new rotor on. You go ahead and get your pads mounted into your new 3rd gen Cummins caliper bracket. Mount that with the same 2 bolts that you took out to undo all of your old brake system. And then you can go ahead and, just like any other brake job, go ahead and stick your caliper on, get your brake line all mounted back up. And the thing with doing that, yes, I have to tighten down this bleeder screw right here. It is dripping. The thing with putting your brake line back onto these new 3rd gen Cummins calipers is that the new banjo bolt that comes with those calipers does not fit through your brake line here. So you do have to use the old bolt off of your 2nd gen Cummins brakes. but you do get new copper washers. I just have test fitted it with the old copper washers, and it is dry. It's not leaking. What you see leaking is the bleeder screw right there. I do have to tighten that down, but I gotta bleed the brakes and stuff first. Spray everything down with brake clean, but it's as simple as that, guys. Free upgrade, more braking power. I'm gonna end this one right here. I just need to bleed the brakes. You guys all know how to do that. I'm not gonna insult anybody's intelligence. I'm gonna clean up my mess out here. I'm running out of daylight. Get these brakes bled so that I am ready to rock and roll tomorrow, and then we will take her for a test drive first thing in the morning, and we will see what the difference is with these 3rd Gen Cummins brakes after we upgraded my 2001 24 valve Cummins with them. That is it, guys. It is getting dark. I just got the brakes bled on this thing. I still do have a new master cylinder. We are gonna put that on the truck and take care of that. But with all that said, at least now we have the 3rd Gen Cummins brake upgrade on my 2001 24 valve Cummins. So I'm super pumped about that. Can't wait to give them a test tomorrow and see how they are. I'm gonna throw my wheel on, get that thing torqued down to spec, collect the last bit of my items out here, pack it into the garage, and get to editing this video, then call it a night. So hit that like button on your way out for us getting the 3rd Gen Cummins brake upgrade done on this 24 valve Cummins here. And if you're stopping in for the first time, new to the channel, hit subscribe. There's still a whole bunch of stuff that needs to be done on this old 24 valve Cummins. Injection pump we're going to be changing, still have to finish front end work, and a whole other list of crap still to do. None of you will want to miss that, and I'm going to do my best to get informational videos out there for you guys so that you can learn and do the same with your Cummins truck. All right, enough blabbing out of me. I gotta finish cleaning up and go get something to eat, finish all this crap, and I will just see you guys in the next video. How about that? Peace. I just wanna